Hey guys, Darren here. Welcome to Mayhem Country Living, or maybe Mayhem Preparedness. I'm not sure where this video is going to go. Most of you are on both channels, so it will not cause a problem. Today we are making sauerkraut. We purchased some nice, really large heads of cabbage, and we have some pink Himalayan sea salt. We have some jars that are clean, and we have something to hold them in, and so we are getting ready to make, again, sauerkraut. Easy peasy, government cheesy. There's nothing to it. You can do it in just 2 or 3 hours, enough for several months. That's how we do it around here. I make enough. And the hooch helped. She cut everything up last night. We stuck it in the refrigerator because we were exhausted from all the stuff we did yesterday. And just so you know, as long as you cut it up, chop it up good, refrigerate it, it doesn't turn brown. That's a good tip to know. But we have it all processed and ready to go. We did peel the first few layers off, and then we cut it and cored it. We did not wash it because we want to save as much of the natural yeasts that are on that head of cabbage as we can. Now, honestly, if you bought it from somebody and it was rolling around in the floorboard, well, then hell yeah, you need to wash the damn thing. But what we're going to do is get this thing ready. Like I said, it's easy. For what we're going to do, for a bowl full like this, you chop it up really good to whatever texture you find appealing for your kraut, and then you put in salt. Oh, what kind of salt? We're not talking about iodized salt. Don't use any of that, please. You could use pink Himalayan, white sea salt, you could use pickling salt, anything pretty much but iodized fine salt. You really don't want to use that because it's going to give it an off flavor. If you have ever eaten kraut that is subpar, you know what I'm talking about. Now, it is going as we're speaking. More to come. Okay guys, now we're back. Why would you even make sauerkraut? You can buy it in a store, 50 cents a can. That's, hell, been sitting on the shelf for about a year. Why not buy that? Yeah. The stuff that we're going to make is really high in really good gut bacteria. It is lacto fermented, and so that is going to give you a really lot of healthy gut bacteria to aid in digestion. And studies are showing now that a healthy gut can do a lot, even to preventing infections. So that is a big plus. So we're doing this. You can do this with onions. You can do it with garlic. You can do it with anything dang near. You can ferment green beans, anything like that. It's a really good way to get a good dose of healthy gut bacteria into your system. Now, what do? Well, pretty basic. We're going to cut up the garlic, which Hooch already did. We're going to add some nice salt that is not iodized like we talked about, and about a tablespoon, more or less to taste. Honestly, you really can't over salt it because it's going to start weeping once you salt it, and it will make its own brine. You can make a brine to go over it if you felt like you needed to, which would be you added some sea salt and some really good filtered water to make a brine. But you don't have to. The key and the secret is letting it sit. So we're going to do this in just a second. We're going to do a 1 quart jar, and I think we're going to try to do a ½ gallon jar. If not, we might end up doing 3 quart jars. We'll see. More to come, guys. Here we go. And I just want to kind of lift the tripod up and show you. Oh yes, I found my tripod, so hopefully we'll have a little better quality. I lost it during the move, but you can see what we got and what we're doing. We'll just take this one. We're just going to roll it, and it feels like it's beginning to soften up, and we're getting some juice. Hang on, I'll see if I... There we go. That's what we want, is the juice right there, because the sea salt is drawing the liquid out of this, which is the first step of our fermentation process. So we're going to roll this guy around, and I have washed my hands. First thing you want to do is get yourself cleaned up, clean up your kitchen, and then wash your hands again. This one is doing just as well. Sometimes when we do this, we do 2 heads and it's only 2 containers. But like I said, the hooch got these at the corner farmers market down here in our new place down in Centerville, and these things were massive. We paid for organic cabbage about $10 for 2 huge heads. There we go. These things are coming along pretty good. I think we have enough salt in here, and again, like I said, you can't really over salt it at this point. If you wanted to, now we're not going to. I always want to, but the hooch said she always likes it just plain fermented. You can put peppercorns in here, you can put garlic, you can put dill in it, you can put whatever you really desired, and it will give it a really good flavor. You could put rosemary, put a sprig in there, and rosemary, that actually sounds pretty good. Rosemary sauerkraut, that sounds pretty good. How about that on a hot Reuben sandwich? Might not be a bad thing. Anyway guys, more to come. Okay guys, now we're back, and you can see I have added and pressed down, and I'm going to take one of these smaller jars. This is a smaller ball jar. I'm going to say it's a half pint, something like that, and I'm going to set it down into that, and that is how it will sit. You can take some of the outer leaves if you have not discarded them. I gave them to my chickens, and you can fold them over, put them in, and press something like that down on there, and that one will sit just fine. You don't want to tighten the lid on that, because if you do, you can have a lot of pressure build up. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to see this thing start to bubble and ferment, and it's going to go from the green to a milky white, and that means that the fermentation progress is going on, and you'll be able to smell it. And some people find it odd. I love the smell of this, and this is healthier than any kind of gut health tablets you can get from a store, in my opinion. I'm not a doctor, but this is the kind of stuff that we do, and this will help you feel so much better. Now, I was talking to the hooch, and I said I'm going to do a half gallon and a quart, and I said, do you think that would work? And she said, yeah. She said, worst comes to worst, what we'll do is eat this first, draw from the half gallon, and add back to this, which won't be a problem. The basement's nice and cool. 2 weeks, we're going to refrigerate this for a little while to slow down the fermentation process, and that is kind of the timeline that we like. Gives it a good flavor. So, more to come. Okay guys, now we are done and done, and I want to show you that in addition, we cleaned the kitchen up so there wouldn't be a problem. Now, like I said, this is easy peasy. You can see that we have the small jars in there as a counterweight to hold everything down. This is an anaerobic event that's going on inside these jars. So we do not want any oxygen to get into these, because that will cause the cabbage to turn and become an off color and an off taste. This is an anaerobic activity, and this is using lactobacillic methods. So it's good stuff. More to come. Okay guys, now we're back. I guess lactobacillic methods are not quite appropriate. We are using lactobacillic fermentation. That would be the best way to say it. But we're good to go, and this will last us for another 3 months. I give half of it away to family. They usually come over and they say, "Oh my God, this is great." And I say, "Well, here, get a doggy bag and carry it home and keep it in the fridge." So we're done for now. Thanks for coming along. This is really good stuff. Really goes a long way to helping with gut health. Just a second, guys, you're going to see a picture of my ugly mug pop over here, as well as my beautiful wife on the opposite side. Give me some videos. If we are indeed your brand of wacky, take care of your people.